Part 2.
Hello and welcome to video number 5, and in this particular video we're going to talk about types of affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing actually covers a wide variety of different payment structures, different structures in general. And what I want to do in this particular video is talk about briefly about each type. And then what I want to do is give you some examples, real life examples and websites that you can actually go to and find products and services that you can promote and get a cut of revenue based on that type of affiliate marketing. Now, compensation can also vary depending on the product itself. So let's talk about the first type. The first type is pay per sale. This is actually very, very common, and most affiliate programs cover pay per sale. And all this means is that you get paid every single time somebody purchases a product or a service. So let's say, for example, that somebody is selling a piece of software. If it's a monthly product, that is $100 per month. And let's say, for example, that you get 50%, you're going to get $50 per month per sale. Now, I like recurring products because once you have referred somebody and you've worked hard to do that, if that product has a good retention rate, meaning how long that person will stay in that membership site, let's say, for example, the average retention rate is 2 years. If I refer that person and they stay for 2 years, that's 50 times 24. So 50 times, for example, 12 is 60. That would be $600. So I'm getting $600 a year, ultimately getting $1,200 a 2 years, and knowing that they have a good stick rate and knowing that the vendor actually cares and takes care of their customers, that's why it's so crucial in finding good vendors. But knowing that, I know that I can spend a couple $100s just to acquire that customer or pre-sale that customer. So that's pay per sale. It also can be a one-time product where somebody buys a video course for $20 and you get 50% of that, and that's that. So the majority of affiliate programs are based on this particular payment structure. The second type is pay per click. This means that you basically get paid every time somebody clicks a link, meaning let's say you send 1,000 people and out of 1,000 people, 100 people click. And the vendor says, okay, so for every click that you send, I will give you $1. So if you, out of 1,000, you get 100 clicks, that's $100, right? Now this isn't as popular, but it's out there. So I just want you to be aware of it. Now, the third type is pay per lead. In this case, you're sending traffic, and if a prospect fills out a form or they fill out some sort of requirement, like they fill out their zip code, for example, or they fill out the whole form, you might get payment for that action. So essentially, pay per lead is whenever somebody fills out a form, becomes a lead, essentially, or does a specific action. Now, this often times is also called cost per action, or CPA in short. There are tons of networks out there where you can find a lot of these: pay per lead, pay per action, fill out a form, or even the second type, which is similar, which is pay per call. The fourth type, which is in relation to the pay per lead, is pay per call. And this is a CPA structure as well. And what this means is that based on the requirement, if somebody calls on the phone via a special number that they give you and they meet the requirements, such as they call and they're on the phone for 15 minutes, you might get $30 for that call. Or they call and they give their name and phone number, you might get a certain amount of fee. So they're not really buying anything, they're just taking action. But the vendors that are getting these leads, they know well enough that, okay, if they get this lead, that lead is most likely going to convert into whatever sales. So oftentimes they're willing to often pay $30, $40, $50 per lead. And that's pay per call. Now that you understand the different types of affiliate marketing, let's discuss different sites that you can go to find these deals. So let me go ahead and go to my browser and let me show you now. So as far as websites that you can go to find products to promote as an affiliate, as far as the info products go for the paper sale, jvzoo.com is a good site to go to. Let me show you the address bar here. That's jvzoo.com right here. So jvzoo.com. This is a great place to sign up as an affiliate, and it will give you the actual stats on how the product is selling and all that. So you'll need to come here, sign up as an affiliate right here, JVZoo affiliate, and then you'll be able to find products. It'll tell you the refund rate and all that. That's another thing you want to look for, is the refund rate. If a vendor has like a 10% refund rate or even a 20% refund rate, you might want to steer clear of those vendors. Another site is clickbank.com. That's clickbank.com. And clickbank.com also covers a lot of info products, but they tend to cover a lot of niche based info products. So if we click on affiliate marketplace here as an example, you will see a lot of different niches, not just internet marketing or online business, but you'll find other things like computers, cooking, diets, games, politics, parenting, everything that you can think of. So that would be the pay per sale. Now, there's a lot of pay per sale in terms of physical products as well. You can do Amazon.com and get like a 4% commission. And you can look into AliExpress as well for the e-commerce type physical products. But as far as that goes, those are the popular sites. Now, you can actually make more money as an affiliate to info products. Now, when it comes to something like pay-per-click, there's not really any companies that we have tested and recommend, but you can go to Google, you can type in get paid per click, and make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you research beforehand. But there are some companies out there that will pay you per click, but a lot of times it's not a lot of money. It's like a few cents for every clicks. So that's not really what I would recommend as an ideal situation to make money. Usually the paper sales better, pay per lead is also good as well. So as far as the pay per lead or pay per call, maxbounty.com is one of the top CPA networks, and that's maxbounty.com. There are tons of other CPA networks out there as well that you can make money with, but at this time, maxbounty.com is the one that we've actually used and tested. Another one, which is pay per call, would be ringpartner.com. That's ringpartner.com. And that's it. Hello and welcome to video number 6. We're going to talk about reviewing the product. Obviously, before you can promote the product, you need to review it. And before you get up and say, well, why are we even covering this? Isn't this common sense? It is, but to an extent, it's not. Because what it's going to reveal to you are advanced strategies and things that 99% of the affiliate population just aren't doing. And because they aren't doing this, this is your advantage. Now, what we found over the years of testing many different products over the last decade and a half, literally over 500 different products that we've promoted over the years, tested, reviewed, and all that, we found that the majority of affiliates out there do not test the product. They just go ahead and promote the product, which is riddled with bugs. Now, that's not to say that every product is going to have bugs. We've tested products out and it worked really well. And then when it launched, customers would find bugs. That's the reality. But in doing so, we've noticed a pattern, and that pattern is that the majority of people don't review. And not only is that unethical, it'll actually hurt your reputation. And if this is a long-term business and you've built an email list of subscribers, you want to make sure that you're honest and direct with them, right? So by testing the product, it is actually an advantage to you because by knowing the ins and outs of it, it'll actually help you not only in the area of gaining trust from your future fans and more importantly, getting them to buy, but it's also going to help you create an incentivized bonus. So if you take a look at a product and you find that, let's say that it is weak in a certain area, then you can fill that area where it's weak and turn that into a bonus. Does that make sense? So if you look at a sales page and you feel like, man, this is weak because of this area, like maybe the training is weak, then you could fill that gap. And we'll talk more about that in the incentivized bonus video, but that's a way of creating a bonus. And that's why if you review the product, you will know that. If you don't review the product, you'll never know that. You'll just use a bonus and slap things together that may not really make sense. And then when somebody buys through your affiliate link, they're going to say, why is this even here? And they're not going to buy from you in the future. But if you put together a good bonus that fills in a gap and a weakness that's very obvious, and they buy it, have a good experience, and they realize that you have filled that gap, they're more inclined to actually buy from you, if that makes sense. So, because the fact is that other affiliates aren't reviewing it, and that's 90% of the affiliate population, if you do that, you will actually stand out. Now, sometimes you can get the product for free and review it, but that's not really going to happen unless you have a prior relationship with the vendor, or typically you've made them a lot of sales in the past. If that happens, great. If that doesn't happen, that's fine too, because you can buy it, show people that you've bought it, and see it as an investment. So invest in it, review it, and if you really love it and like the ins and outs of it, the features and all that, you're more likely to create a review that sparkles. And it's because it becomes something that you're passionate about, right? So like I said, purchase the product first or ask the vendor to give it to you or whatever, test it out, and try to pinpoint areas of weaknesses and strengths and then jot it down on a piece of paper. So write it down. All the products have weaknesses. I don't care what product it is. Every single product has a weakness. So as long as the strengths outweighs the weaknesses and the product works, of course, you can make sure that you list these out so that you can discuss them in your review videos and your review pages. Now, this will actually help you when it comes time to create your incentivized bonus, which we'll discuss in the next video. And that is going to be an advanced strategy. So up until this point, we've covered all the basics, and we'll talk about some more advanced strategies in video number 7 and in video number 8. Welcome to video number 7. This is an advanced strategy, and this is incentivized bonuses. In other words, if you want to know how the super affiliates make a lot of money with affiliate marketing, it really comes down to what we call incentivized bonuses. So when it comes to affiliate marketing, the downside is one really good product is going to have tons of affiliates, sometimes thousands of affiliates. So the question is, how do you stand out and how do you compete against hundreds or even thousands of affiliates promoting that same product? And a lot of them might have incentivized bonuses, but if you have the best incentivized bonus, you will win. Now, the key is to realize that if the market is big enough, who cares how many affiliates there are? In fact, we have moved into markets as a very small marketer compared to a lot of big marketers, and realized that, wow, like we actually got on the top 10 compared to these people who have big lists of millions of people. But at the end of the day, when we analyzed out of the 10 people or the people on the top 10, we would analyze them and find that a lot of them would slap together just random bonuses. So that's why I'm saying here, it doesn't matter how big you are. At the end of the day, as long as you have a really good bonus, that's key. So that's how you compete with hundreds or even thousands of affiliates. So the best way of approaching this is by offering an incentivized bonus, which means you're telling prospects, hey, if you buy through my affiliate link, you will get this bonus that fits the weakness of this product for free, right? So who's not going to want to buy a product and get a bonus for free that is going to fill the gap, right? So you want to make sure that you're transparent about this. Let them know, review the product, and then let them know the weakness and why your bonus fills the gap so that they can make the best informed decision. And I can't tell you how much this will help you. This is going to help you a lot. In fact, I'm going to show you how to go about doing this in just a few minutes. So in other words, they could either buy the product directly and that's it, and they don't get the bonus, or they could buy through your affiliate link, get the product, but also get whatever additional bonuses that you are attaching to that product. I mean, if you think about the prospect, the buyer, which one are they going to choose? Obviously, the latter, right? They're going to want to choose the product and get the free bonus along with it. They're not going to want to just buy the product itself, right? I can't tell you how many times a lot of people have bought the product and came back and said, I wish I knew about your bonus, right? Plus, realize this, like I said earlier, as super affiliates, we've come to the realization that most people really don't review the product rigorously. They might look at it, glance at it, but they don't review it rigorously. And thus they come out with bonuses that really don't convert or really have nothing to do with the actual product itself. But because now you know the secret sauce, now you know that a very small percentage of people actually do this, this is something that you can actually do. So you need to buy the product, you need to test the product out, you need to find the weaknesses and be transparent about them. Now, people who buy from you will ultimately love you. You might only get a few in the beginning, but they're going to love you. They're going to come back. They're going to buy similar products through your affiliate link. And that's the goal is, yeah, you might maybe only make 10 or 20 now, but those 10 or 20 may really like your bonus to the point that they're going to come back, right? Your goal is not just to make a one-off sale and that's it. Your long-term strategy is to build a list, build a relationship with that list, sell products that are really good, that are attached with really good bonuses so that time and time again, they're going to come back, right? So let me give you an example here. Let's say, for example, that a product is a piece of software. And this is something that we personally have done. So we have a piece of software, we look at the software, we review the software, we find that the software is actually very hard to use. So we look and we find that the software has zero training. So guess what? The weakness in this case is that the software lacks training. So what you could do in this case is create a training course that helps people who bought the software better understand how to use it and how to use it more effectively. Now, the key here is to realize that in this case, obviously, you would have to spend sometimes days or even weeks learning the software in and out. But at the end of the day, you will have something no other affiliate really wants to do, which is spend a week reviewing the software and figuring it out yourself. So I found that market tends to be untapped typically because nobody wants to spend that amount of time, and software can be very tedious to learn as well. So can you imagine who will make more sales? Exactly my point. Does that make sense as to why this is so powerful? So this is one little tip that has made us a lot of money. So make sure that you use this to your advantage. So congratulations, you have reached the end of this course. This is going to be the last video, and this last video will be video number 8, and this is going to be an advanced strategy to help you essentially make more money. So this is going from the short-term affiliate strategy to a long-term private deal strategy. So essentially you're moving from affiliate to a long-term deal. And this is extremely profitable if you generate enough sales for the vendor. So number one, you can contact them to get a higher percentage of commission. Say for example that you've generated them 100 sales or more. You could go to them and say, hey, I've generated you hundreds of sales. Would you be interested in increasing my commission from 50% to 10%? A lot of times vendors, especially for products where they don't have a huge overhead, they're willing to often go up to 75%. Some of them are going to even go further than that as well. Some of them will stick to the bottom if it's software. Software is another thing. A lot of times they'll stick at 50%, and it's harder for them to move up because they have a higher overhead with having to hire programmers and all of that. But keep that in mind, you can always work out a very private special deal where maybe they offer something to your list, something like an incentivized bonus. So for example, maybe the vendor can offer a special bonus such as a product that they normally sell for free for your customers because they know that you're already making sales for them. Naturally, as a vendor, they're going to want to make more sales for you because it makes more sales for them, right? So they know in a way that whatever you're doing, traffic wise or conversion wise, it's working. It should be in their best interest to bend over backwards and work with you to help you make as many sales for them, right? So that's why this can move from a short-term strategy to a long-term strategy. So I would do that. I would say, hey, do you have an incentivized bonus that you can offer my list? Or do you have a product that you're normally selling that you could offer my list for free? And we've done that, and many vendors have opened up and said, hey, no problem, no big deal. Now, we have had a few vendors that have said no, and normally those are harder to deal with. But the ones that usually have your best interests in their mind, they normally should bend over backwards. That should be a normal thing. But that is, of course, only if you brought them 100 or more sales. Don't expect that if you haven't brought any sales or if you've only brought a couple sales. Only expect that if it's brought, a few hundred sales. And when you're at that point, it makes sense to move to a long-term kind of venture. Now, oftentimes we found that a good vendor is the difference between pennies and thousands of dollars earned. So in other words, if the vendor is willing to work with you, that is usually a win-win situation. So hindsight 2020, looking back, a lot of times we found that the vendors that were easy to work with and that were willing to work with us, we made a lot more money with them. The ones that were not willing to work with us, not willing to offer exclusive bonuses, the vendors that were lazy or just didn't want to do anything, a lot of times those promos would just become stagnant and they wouldn't go anywhere. So that's a nice little tip if you're a vendor watching this. Make sure that you support your affiliates as much as you can. And especially affiliates that are doing well, reach out to them. Say, hey, what can I do to help you, kind of thing. They don't budge. Usually what we do is we go to their competition. We show their competition, hey, we've made 100 sales for your competition. Do you have an affiliate program and would you be willing to work with us? Most of the time they would say yes. So that's just something to think about, that there's always avenues that you could take. There's always going to be roadblocks and there's always going to be avenues and solutions that you can take. You just have to be willing to look for them. So that's the strategy that we would use, those two strategies at the very end on video 7, video number 8. And those will typically help you be the literal 10% of affiliates, because the 99 or 90% of the affiliates aren't doing videos 6, 8, 7, or 8. So I hope you enjoyed that video course. I know that was basic with some advanced strategies, and maybe at another time we'll talk about more advanced affiliate marketing strategies. So with that said, go ahead and make sure that you take some action.